Let's see, it's 6:02. This is the regular board meeting of the Park District of Grange, Monday, June 15th, 2024. Could I ask for a roll call?
Commissioner Veer,
Here.
Commissioner Lacey, Commissioner Posey,
Here.
President Open.
Here. No introductions today. Any changes to the agenda? Anything else we need to be aware of?
Nope, just we're excited to have Jamie Hollik, our new Director of Finance.
Hi, Jamie.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Let's move on to public comments. Seeing that there are none, I will move to agenda item 3.0. Consent agenda approval of the minutes of the public hearing of April 15, 2024. Approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting April 15, 2024. Approval of the minutes of the executive session meeting April 15, 2024. Approval of the financial reports dated April 30th, 2024. And approval of the consolidated vouchers for May dated May 13th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
President Open.
Yes, moving to agenda item 4.0, staff reports. We will start with the director's report this evening.
So just a few things to highlight. I think the board has seen we've been receiving a lot of positive comments on our athletic fields. So we're really happy about that. We continue to move forward with the 2024 park plan proposal. The surveys are out right now. To date, we had 824 surveys completed, which is about a 13% response rate. So we are excited to get those results. The results will be shared at the May 22nd Citizen Task Force meeting, along with Beyond Your Base will be coming to the June 10th board meeting to present the survey results. We completed our 3 public input meetings. We had a total of 24 participants, 10 at the first meeting, 9 at the second meeting, and 5 at the third meeting. I will be going to the village tonight just to kind of get our plan out there a little bit more, talk about the survey, and give the information that we want to share. Just as a reminder, next month we'll be doing the Little League naming rights. We'll be approving that. So if anybody has anything to say about that, it will be effective June 15th. I'll work with Ansel Glink to get that put together. And that's for the scoreboard.
Going back to the May 22nd meeting, do you have 2 commissioners committed to that, or do you need people?
Commissioner Posey is signed up for that, and Commissioner Shabbat was, so he is no longer.
Okay, so we have one more
If we
spot.
have one more spot.
Just make sure I still have that on my calendar.
Okay. And then just an announcement regarding Senator Porfioro, how he allocated $250,000 from his budget to the Park District of Grange for capital planning. So we're excited about that. We'll continue to follow up with him to see how we can receive those funds. And then I just want to ask for the board's support. If you're ever in a park and see a dog off their leash, if you could remind our residents that they should be on their leashes. It's becoming a safety issue. We are going to start a campaign. We're going to put out some yard signs. We've had dogs jump on staff while they're weed whipping, which is unsafe, who are off leash. So if you are in the parks and you see it, if you could please help us. We are going to, again, be putting out some yard signs and different items on social media to help remind residents that they need to have their dogs on leashes.
I just read an article, I think in Chicago over the weekend, a woman and her family was attacked by an off-leash dog in a park.
Yeah.
So it's timely.
Yeah. So, and we'll probably do it every season now moving forward. We won't keep the signs out all summer, but as the parks start to get busier, we'll put them out. So, and then I just wanted to talk a little bit about the board packet. So putting these board packets together is kind of labor intensive with all the packets and the files. So we put together a sample that we'd like to move to, which is just a bound copy. It'll still have the sections in there, so you'll still see the sections. But this is a lot easier for the staff to put together. It doesn't take as many resources in paper as well as staff time. So is the board okay with moving to something like this? There'll be an agenda at the back you can rip off so you can keep it next so you can go through.
I'm fine with it.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move away from the folder packet then.
I would even ask for future consideration, like some of this I don't need
Okay.
for. I would like to have it digitally. I still like my reports from the staff as paper, but like, for example, I think you put the financial reports, I can actually do those digitally.
Okay.
For myself, but.
Okay. Well, and that's something we did try it digitally before, and it didn't really work. But I think that's because we didn't have the devices maybe here, so we were going to maybe look at purchasing devices to have here for when the board comes to be able to pull them up and removing the paper completely. So something to think about if you feel comfortable with that, where we would email it to you digitally, you'd get it digitally, and then when you came here, there'd be either an iPad or a laptop for you to pull it up and go through.
I'm totally going to be old school. I do like the paper. I like the ease of it. It also is a nice reminder when it's sitting, as silly as that sounds, it is a nice reminder if I see it on my table that I need to review it. So
fair enough.
While I agree that there are some things, especially like the warrant reports and the budget reports, I'm fine reviewing that online or portions of it online.
Okay.
But I really do actually like the paper.
Okay.
You don't have to make me a paper copy at all.
Perfect. Done. Okay. That's all I had, unless there was any other questions on my report.
No, let's move, so hearing none, let's move to Jamie, welcome.
Hi, happy to be here. Just a little bit, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Hollik. I've been here about 3 weeks. I actually came from village of Chicago Ridge, so municipality side, just shy of 10 years. Prior to that, I was in school district for about 4, and even before that, I was in park district. So Life Circle brought me around, so I'm happy to be back in parks. So kind of just delving into my report, a couple things to note is we did have an audit planning meeting on May 6th with Lauderback and Amon. And the preliminary audit will begin on June 3rd. I've already begun to pull and compile and send some of their preliminary requests. And then I will be working with Selden Fox as well as staff to get all of the reports and things necessary to kick off our audit. And then I also wanted to note that the fiscal year 24-25 budget was uploaded on May 1st. This way staff is already able to go in and start utilizing the new fiscal year budgetary figures for any bills that will be coming in.
Questions? Well, welcome again. We're excited to have you here. It's a chair that we've had empty for a long time, so it's great to have somebody to help out the team. And in that same note, I want to thank the rest of the organization for filling in while we did have an absence. I know there was a lot of extra work, prior to Jamie joining us. So, welcome again.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin, why don't we talk through the recreation area?
Yeah, so staff is in the heart of getting summer up and going, wrapping up winter, spring. All day camp staff are hired. We start training in a couple of weeks for that. We did make an offer to the athletic supervisor. Background check came back good, so we're just going through that process of drug screen, physical, onboarding, with a tentative start date, if everything works out, being next Monday. So once that's official, we'll release the individual's name and further information on that candidate. Base registration opened up at the end of April. In my board report, there are the breakdown of the sites. New for this school year are some different part-time options. It's broken out. So looking at the total registrations, across the 6 sites, we have 226 registered participants compared to 275 at the same time a year ago. One of the big drawbacks for the program this year is right as school is now at CASA. So we've lost some families to that. They implemented right as school a month and a half ago at CASA. So we're navigating that challenge right now. But hopefully we get some families back with this new option of some more flexible times. At the end of my report is the winter, spring, end of season report. Overall, we had a good winter, spring season. We do have some declines in some program areas due to specific contractors in terms of success rate, just offering so much, kind of oversaturating certain areas. So we are working to kind of rid ourselves of those programs to implement some newer ones or ones that are a strength of the district, kind of build upon it. Special events had a really good season. Overall, numbers are really good. It's, again, we had some historic numbers the last few seasons, so it's hard to generate that momentum year or season after season, but we're kind of maintaining it. There's also a breakdown with registered participants from the communities that they live in. So Grange had 1,308 participants. They're the top one, obviously. Grange Park at 317, Brookfield at 234, and then it kind of goes down from there between the low teens up to the mid 50s for the next 2, 4, 6, 7 communities. Questions?
Is Countryside part of the Grange?
Yeah, so the countryside number is 20 something.
Just
For the rec site, yeah, it's in terms of unique registrants. For total registrations, it's like 30, 35.
In regards, first I want to say, I know you outlined some things that you didn't feel were a success because the participation was lower, but sometimes you have success and failure, so that's okay. We know what people don't want. My assumption from reading through is like maybe we're going to scale back the language because those didn't seem to go well.
Yes.
Are there any other specific sports that you're thinking of that are oversaturated? Because I saw you mentioned that athletic kids contract.
Yeah, one of the contractors, they kind of broke out the age ranges to be very hyper-focused.
Oh.
So they're doing like a multi-sport class has 6 offerings, and it goes 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Got it.
You can combine a lot of those age groups, and you can probably run a class.
Right.
So it's stuff like that we're trying to work with the vendors on. We're also looking at some of these classes with the new athletic staff coming in, possibly moving that stuff in-house.
Okay.
So we have some more control over it.
Okay. Thank you.
So not only your programs, but all programs, it seems like the transition to online registration is going well.
Yep.
And I think the public wanted that for years, and what I've heard is pretty happy with that. So that's great.
Yeah, staff were nervous with base online registration, but we kind of learned some mistakes we made during summer camp this year with how busy that was. So they made the adjustments, and base went really well.
Yeah, that was really seamless. The staff did a really good job. It was eerie. No one was in there. No one was calling.
People happy though on both sides of it. Yeah.
Yes.
How's the dance program going? You mentioned that in the beginning.
Yeah, so Brandon Diaz, we're actually going to be posting the job this week to start hiring in-house staff. We're looking to offer, it's 4 disciplines spread out with the age groups. Will be 8 total classes in the fall. So we do some morning and some evening on Tuesday and Wednesdays. So that stuff is all starting to come together for September rollout.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
If there's no further questions, let's go to Eric for a discussion of parks.
Staff's working hard to keep up with the weather, making sure athletic fields are playable with the turf and surface for baseball and softball. Just want to thank them because keeping up with the turf last 3-4 weeks has been pretty tough. So we've moved some stuff around and they've done a really great job. Elm Park hosted a section of the Grange School District run for D102. I was there on Saturday. I just blew off the path. There were still people kind of just taking a look at the park. It was pretty cool to have a section of that, people running through the parks just to kind of see what we have over there. We did order some new garbage cans. We placed them in the Gilbert and Cedric tennis courts. So far, staff likes them and the public, so that's good to know. And then, like I said, just keeping up with the grass is kind of what we're kind of keep up with. And then another week of rain, so that's it.
I had a question about the upcoming cicada invasion. Do we have any young plants we need to mitigate for, or how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, we're just going to monitor it. As I know a website that sells the bags. It's already sold out.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, we're just going to monitor it as much as we can weekly. We do have some new plants coming in. That's the ones we're really going to kind of just take a look at. But all the other big ones should be fine.
Are there any plans for additional attention to like blow off basketball courts, tennis courts? Because I'm sure it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to have a grounds crew checking the parks weekly, and then they're going to have a couple seasonals blowing and weed whipping, so they'll be there at least once a week.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't get that bad.
It gets that bad.
I already saw a bunch on
Did
the
you?
walk
Well.
this morning.
Yeah, 2 varieties I've heard, so.
Any other questions for us? Okay, let's move to 5.0. Any attorney reports this evening?
Just pay attention to, if you've been getting emails about talking to the Cook County Commissioners about the rules that are in the works now for the Paid Leave Act stuff. So I'm sure Jamie will be reaching out to you. Maybe we'll follow and reach out to you.
Do you have a form letter?
I don't. We're having a meeting with the Human Rights Committee next week, the 22nd or 23rd. So I was going to kind of see what comes out of that meeting. It's supposed to go into effect for park districts on January 1 of 2025. So we're still trying to see if we can do anything without getting unions upset too. So it's a fine balance. So I'll keep you posted.
Right. 6.0 Treasury Report. Any updates there?
Nope, we'll be transferring that to Jamie tonight.
And let's move to action item 7.1, discussion and/or approval of appointing Jamie Hollik, Director of Finance, PLG Treasurer.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
President Obed.
Yes, congratulations. All right, now the paperwork starts, right? Okay. 7.2, discussion and/or approval of appointing a Park District of the Grange Board Commissioner to replace Michael Shabbat. So to introduce, we had a conversation, we interviewed, we received a bunch of applications. The board and I conducted some interviews. I think we have consensus. Someone would like to make a motion or discussion first?
So you've contacted everybody?
I have contacted everybody, yes. As of today, everybody's been contacted, and I did speak with the person that we talked about, and he has said he'd be
So we just made a motion to approve
interested to appoint.
To appoint with the name.
Chris Weber as a commissioner of the Park District.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
President Obed.
Yes.
Perfect.
Discussion and/or approval of the Novent Tech security camera proposal for the Recreation Center and Gordon Park.
So you'll find, you will find, sorry, it looks like, yeah, no, it looks like it got put in backwards, so I apologize about that. So if you flip to past the first memo to the second memo, it's for the security cameras. So we've reached out to 3 different companies. We currently work with Novent, and their proposal did come in the lowest. This is excluded from bid for the data management exception. The other 2 proposals came in over $100,000, so Novent came in quite more economical for us. And they're a current IT provider, so when we have a problem, it's just best to kind of keep everything in-house. So we would ask that the board approve to move forward with the cameras at Gordon and the Recreation Center in the amount of $69,416.25, utilizing the remaining $5,583.75 for contingency.
So you said the other proposals were over $100,000. So are we missing anything? I mean,
We're not.
Okay.
I think, Novent knows what we need. We've talked to other park districts who are using them. We don't have a monthly service fee either. We own the equipment outright. So Novent really kind of hit all the marks for us. And our current cameras are unsupported. So I think the other companies came in and kind of were trying to give us all the bells and whistles, even though we said we didn't need all the bells and whistles.
Okay.
I think these cameras are really primarily just for risk mitigation. Is that why we have them?
Yes, security, safety.
Okay.
Then
And we don't get enough FOIA requests, so now we will. It will explode.
Have you heard of the question?
We have, oh yes, the police all the time. And right now it's very difficult to pull it off because again, they're unsupported. Our DVRs are very old, so this will be very handy.
Once we get that.
All right, then I move to approve the Novent security camera proposal for the rec center in Gordon Park.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
President Opit.
Yes. Right, 7.4, discussion and/or approval of Resolution R24-01, directing a different policy for non-residents that are residents of a countryside.
So this one you have to go back to the first page, the first memo in the packet. So we talked about this at our last meeting. If you flip to Schedule A of the resolution, this is kind of what we talked about as to how we would roll out the transition from Countryside IGA to being a neighborhood network. So again, this was kind of everything we discussed, whether it be a June 13th date, a July 1st date, everything is lined out in here. So we would ask for the board to approve the resolution.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 24-01, directing a different policy for non-residents that are residents of countryside.
Second.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
President Opit.
Yes. Agenda item 7.5, discussion and/or approval of Section Policy 626, financial assistance.
So this is, oh my gosh, I apologize. So this one is, there's no memo for this one. It was included in the same memo. The only thing we changed in Section 626 is we've removed countryside residents as they will no longer qualify for our financial assistance program. So we just need to update Section 626, the financial assistance policy, to remove countryside residents.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
President Opit.
Yes. Agenda item 7.6, discussion and/or approval of temporary construction license for the handball courts.
So this came, I don't know, Thursday at 4.
Another one of those hair on fire moments. Yeah.
So Mike Zaharik reached out to me. They were having some concerns with the concrete over at the handball courts. They asked if they could repair them. They received a quote from Monson Nicholson Inc. For $3,500 to So So Ansel Glink put together a temporary construction license, and they'd like to move forward with the work. They're trying to get it done before their handball tournament in July. So.
Make a motion to approve the temporary construction license for the handball course.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
President Obed.
Yes. 8.0, board business, old business. We'll go to 8.1, which is the discussion and/or approval of Gilbert Park Oslo grant proposal.
So the board had asked us to research a little bit more about pulling out of the grant process. Staff would not recommend it. We did ask if it mattered if we pulled out earlier or later, and they said it didn't matter. If you pull out, you're going to be blacklisted for at least 2 years. So again, staff wouldn't recommend pulling out of a grant for OSLAD. And then there was also a request to ask some of the community, so we did bring it up at each one of our community input meetings, and most of the residents were very pro-grant. There was one individual who was not pro-grant, but that is their decision. So we do feel now that we received some of the funding from Senator Forpiero, it'll assist with kind of not having to push so many things back. So staff would recommend that we apply for OSLAD. I also want to point out that Governor Pritzker has budgeted for the 2025 OSLAD grants. So this year I think there's 56 or 58 million. So that's 2024. For 2025, he's budgeted 55 million. However, he is recommending that 25 million be swept. So that would mean there would only be 30 million for 2025, meaning there would be a reduction for availability of projects. I think they say it's about 20 or 25 projects that won't get selected if he sweeps that. So we're trying to reach out to our elected officials and try to get him to not unsweep it. But again, this year there's a lot of money on the table, so we think it is in our best interest to go for it. And I know we talked about if we don't get the referendum, if we don't go for a referendum or get a referendum, we need the money even more. So we do think it would be in our best interest to try to go for the OSLAD.
I'm satisfied with that explanation. Thank you to you and staff for looking into it after our questions last month. I feel prepared to make a decision.
What?
Yeah, okay. Then I will move to approve the Gilbert Park OSLAD grant proposal
From White and Company.
from White and Company.
Second.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Veer,
Yes.
President Obed.
Yes.
Okay.
8.2, discussion and/or approval of the Stone Park Plan proposals.
Okay, so the votes are in. I put, following the memo, the first, the chosen plan is first, and then I did put in the other two just as a reminder, the last two, as to what the other selections were. Burke, the option 3, came in at 73 votes or 49%. Landscape New Toys received 49 votes, and Cummingham received 26 votes. So it was unanimous. Burke was chosen. I also put some of the other information in there on the age range of children who are in their homes, and also where they live in relation to Stone Park. So it was good to see that majority of the people, only 20% lived more than 6 blocks away. So it was good to know we were getting a good input from the families around Stone Park. When I was at the Touch a Truck, I spoke to several families who are very excited about Stone Park and getting it redone. So I also put out, there was some questions about ADA. So there are 5 ADA components within this playground. So while it's not completely inclusive playground, there is 5 ADA components within this smaller pocket park. Happy to answer questions. So the proposal is a Sourcewell contract, so we can, there's no bid required. We did add some additional drainage, so they're going to lift it up a little bit. So it will be more playable after rain events. So the total cost for the playground, adding in the, and if you look at, the drawing I gave you, you'll see that there's going to be a circle walkway, and this will go all the way to the sidewalk, and then there's a sidewalk or some concrete going to the basketball court too. So it'll be accessible from the front, and you can get all the way to the basketball court in the back. So for the playground, the concrete curbing, the additional concrete walkways, the raising up the site for drainage, there's going to be 2 benches, a bike rack. The total cost is going to be $168,897.57, which is in our budget of $175,000.
And in your report, you note a $6,100 contingency. Is that included in the 168?
That's included in the 175, so that's just the remaining balance.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll use that. I don't really want to say this out loud, but they don't anticipate any contingencies. It's a pretty small park, but we would have that little bit. And then we also have some other contingency funds within our budget if we need to.
In the context of what's coming with the potential referendum, do we want to consider using a similar supplier going forward to create a visual consistency, or is that not a priority?
So there's several playground contractors. So the 3 we use, there's also Little Tykes, so there's a few other ones. Sometimes I would recommend letting the designing playgrounds and then letting the community choose. For Wyola, we are looking at Burke because Burke is known for their ADA inclusive playgrounds. So White and Company has asked Burke to design an all-inclusive playground for us because that was kind of the theme for Wyola, an all-inclusive playground. So Burke will be designing that one. But sometimes it's good to have different playgrounds. If you have the same vendor, you'll kind of run into some of the similar features. So bringing in different playgrounds and vendors is a good idea sometimes. Eric, do you have any feedback on that?
I agree. Diversity is huge, but also don't go too far.
Right.
It'd be nice to know how to maintain it, and if something does break, we have their contact. But we had all 3 that we dealt with were
Yes.
great.
Okay, thank you for that input there.
So for the funds coming from Porfirio, so this is
our budget. So when Kevin and I met with him, he made it sound like we could apply the funds to anything. It didn't have to be Stone Park. Yeah. So and his email stated for capital funding. So we feel pretty confident that we can utilize it for something else. So.
So I think at this point, we want a motion to approve option 1. Is that what we're looking for?
Yep, we're looking for a motion to approve the Sourcewell awarded contract Play Illinois through Burke for $168,897.57 with the additional $6,102.43 to be used as a contingency.
So moved.
Okay. Commissioner Posey?
Yes.
Commissioner Veer?
yes.
President Opid?
Yes. All right, agenda item 9.0, committee reports. 9.1, administration committee. None. 9.2, parks and facilities committee. No updates. And recreation cultural programming committee.
No updates.
Okay. I feel like maybe we want to revisit these committees after Chris joins us next month. It's probably a good time to do that.
Well, that June will be our annual meeting, so we will vote.
Do that anyway?
Yep. So maybe speak amongst yourselves as to who wants to be in what position for the year, and then we'll also evaluate committees.
Reminder, 10.0, public comments. Seeing that there are none. 11, board comments. Any updates from commissioners?
So once again, I just want to thank Jenny and staff for preparing the board as well as you do to make all of the many series of financial decisions that we've had to make, including tonight in particular with regard to the parks. There's a lot of things that are moving right now with the parks. We've got lots of really terrific strategic plans, and I, for one, really appreciate all of the background work and how you and your staff have really provided us the information that we as a board need to make those decisions. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Agreed with you. But it's nice to have people, compliments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes us feel good, and so that's always a nice perk now. But thank you for that, and thanks for going out and seeking the funds from the senators and taking that. That's a huge gift for us.
I will repeat that. Thanks for getting the funding, and I know that was a team effort. I know the whole team, did the tour, and Jenny, you kind of led the charge there, so I appreciate that. Jamie, welcome. We're excited to have you. Again, it's so great to have somebody in your chair. And the final thing I wanted to say, not to go unnoticed, thank you to everybody for the 2023-2024 goals and objectives. There's a lot in this packet. I saw that the teams really accomplished a ton of stuff, and I think it's worth mentioning that. So I appreciate all the effort that went to make it a great fiscal year, so thank you.
I did forget one thing. I missed you at the touch truck.
I know.
It was better than last year.
You attempted to run him over?
I would have.
It was a great event. The recreation department, Brandon, did a great job. We probably had 800 to 1,000 people come through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And a lot of the favorites were the park district vehicles.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Eric took some extra time and brought out our ball field machine, our tractor and mower, and the kids were just climbing all over them. They loved it.
I loved it in the beginning, and then halfway through I saw it, just like, don't break anything.
Right.
That's why Dirk doesn't attend those.
I don't want to be a witness, I want to be the lawyer.
Turn off the cameras. Right?
Yeah, that was older equipment next year.
All right, I don't think there's any executive session this evening.
Nope.
So I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.